Welcome, everyone. You're listening to Nephology, the podcast dedicated to crypto, accounting, business, finance, and much, much more. I'm Joe David, the founder of Nephos Group and Miner. Please note that all conversations recorded are professional opinions, and if you'd like to know more or gain support, please reach out to the team directly. Now on to the next episode. Cool. Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of the Nephology podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by my friend, John. John,
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thanks. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for coming in. We're slightly behind schedule.
That's all right.
But I knew you wouldn't mind. And, you know, I always know a good friend when they bring me an Americano out. So thanks for that, mate. Yeah, I guess, you know, we'll touch on who you are, what you do and whatnot. But, you know, today's really about, you know, your product being an FX investment opportunity for people. And really kind of, I want to dispel some of the myths. You know, we joke, we send each other TikToks all the time of all these different things and whatnot. So I want to dispel some of those myths so that people can really understand that, you know, what you guys are doing is legit and that people out there, you know, just because you see people doing certain things doesn't mean everyone in the space is doing that. So, but let's start with you. Like, who are you? What is the business and where have you come from, type thing?
Okay, well, I'm John, obviously. So my background is logistics. So I worked in logistics for 10 years, near on. Worked for somebody else to begin with before setting up on my own in the UK. And yeah, I loved the idea of building a business. The drive and the growth was just that dopamine rush. Like I loved it. Like I can't describe it. And I really enjoyed it. The business grew really well, but it just got to that stage where you kind of plateau out, and the next big leap or the next growth phase is more stress. It's more stress coming. So I wanted that balance, and I just knew that I wouldn't get it. And as we plateaued, the dopamine rush just went. Like it was just became that mundane job that you went to. Yeah, I just couldn't. Together with the stress of running a business, naturally, staff, usual bits and bobs.
And that business was I imagine pretty heavy on the mind, in that you'd have people driving at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so obviously it was courier based haulage, but we had a warehouse. We did shop fitting. So, you know, we'd finish in the office, load the vehicles at night, but then at night, some of those vehicles would be going to Harrods, Selfridges, doing a night fit. So literally 1 o'clock in the morning, one of you guys on site's got an issue, is ringing me or normally one of the other project managers, but ultimately if they can't make the decision, it comes back to you. And yeah, a few times I've driven down to London at 2 o'clock in the morning to fix something or help someone. To put that into context, I'm from Leicester, so it's a couple of hours. And I think as time went on, we obviously had 2 kids. I wasn't spending any time at home realistically. I wanted to get out of that space. I was becoming very unhappy in my job, and it got to the stage where I think I probably would have been the downfall of the business. You sort of, it's a bit like when you're finishing a job, you know, when you hand your notes in and you're like, your workflow just goes like that. Yeah, it was kind of like that mentally. So yeah, that I got into the FX space.
So you sold the business?
During the business, so
you got into the FX?
Yeah. So 3-4 years into the Fox, that it was called, we started to get into the FX company. So I traded on and off FX for like 10 years. Never really done very well. Like, it was gambling.
Bit like me in crypto, to be
exactly. It was something to do. It was fun. And yeah, I kind of dived headfirst. Wanted a passive income. Like, who doesn't? You see it online, Instagram, get a passive income. We were doing really well with Fox, but I think it was that thing where I said about the dopamine and the plateau. I needed something else to kind of keep me entertained. So that's when we got into the automated side. And eventually they just met at a stage where they were both earning the same amount of money, but one was so much less stress.
Yeah.
And it was like, I remember just saying to Lauren, like, Lauren, my partner, that it's coming to an end. Like, I just don't want to do it anymore.
Was she in the business?
So, yeah, Lauren did accounts, but from home. My mum was in the accounts, so I saw my mum every day, and she could see how much. No one knows you better than your mum, right?
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
she could see how much it was getting to me, and then Lauren as well. When I got home, it was just, yeah, it was bad times, really, bad times. But yeah, so the FX kind of caught up, and that was it. I just said, like, dive into things head first, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, we came out to Dubai last March on holiday.
Yeah, similar time to when
we came out with the kids on holiday. I didn't want to come. I really didn't want to come. Yeah, I wasn't bothered. I was like your typical Brit. Let's go Spain, standard sort of thing. Lauren convinced us to come here, which I loved it. And
so at this point, you weren't necessarily going to move here.
No, I was still running Fox.
Yeah, and you came on holiday.
AFX at the same time. So
didn't even want to come on holiday here. In reality.
No, I had no interest, and literally running sort of AFX and Fox at the same time. And I remember, like, halfway through the holiday, we ran into a couple on the beach. They got a young kid as well, and our kids they're all playing, and they were telling us the story that they moved here.
Yeah.
And like, I just thought, oh, I want to do that.
Did it just click at that moment?
Yeah, I think like it was almost like fate that we'd ran in. I tell you what, they asked us on the beach. They said, "Do you live here?" And I was like, what a strange question. Like, no, obviously we're stopping at the hotel, and they were like, "Oh no, we live here." And they started telling the story, and I just thought, I was fed up with the UK.
There's more to it.
Yeah, I was fed up with the UK. We had a couple of incidents at work. We got broke into. It was a downward spiral, I just felt. And literally we got home, and I said to Lauren, that's it. Like, she obviously, I didn't force her to. Like, she wanted to. So sold AFX sold Fox, within the space of 2 months.
So at this point, you had no intention of selling Fox? As such, like
not on paper, but in the back of my head.
Yeah. But there was no active movement towards selling.
No, nothing.
Oh, wow.
I probably spoke to a couple of these big corporate companies that send you a flyer saying sell your business, but nothing had like progressed anything further. But I just knew as soon as we got back, I even put on LinkedIn, is there a specialist that helps families move to Dubai? Like, I was just straight on it. I just didn't want it anymore. So 2 months sold Fox. Then literally just fast forward August last year, and we came straight out. Very quick sort of turnaround.
So if you'd gone to Spain instead of Dubai, would you be living in Spain right now? You don't know.
I think I'd probably still be running Fox.
Oh, do you think?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. You don't know where life would have taken you at that point. What was it about Dubai? What was you didn't want to come here. So what was the buzz that made you want to stay here?
You know what? I think when you go to Spain, or wherever it is really, you go and you're on holiday, and you say to yourself, "Oh, I could live here," but then in reality, like, could you? And I didn't really have, unless when I went to Spain and previously, I didn't have a job that I could do in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think it was easy. Like Dubai, it was like, I've got this new business that I can do remotely.
Yeah.
So I think it was just they both sort of came together, and it was like, well, I could do that. Would I have moved to Spain if I went to Spain? Maybe, I don't know. No, I think I'd have definitely sold Fox. Like, that was it.
Yeah,
I'd had enough. I just found it inspiring here. Like, I found it. There's a lot of success. There's a lot of, you speak to a few people that live here, and everything's very positive.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel in the UK, you can get that negative attitude towards doing well. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember when I came here, a friend of mine that was already here, and they had a G-Wagon, and I remember getting in the G-Wagon and being like, this is incredible. I love this car.
Yeah.
I was like, fair play, mate. Like, well done.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, if this was in the UK, people would be smashing the windows, trying to break into it. If they weren't like that, they'd be slagging him off, saying,
he didn't buy it in a legit way or something like that.
Yeah. Whereas it's just a totally different. I mean, I could sit here for hours and talk about why I hate the UK and why I love this part of the world. But okay, so for those that don't know, what is a bot? What is an automated trading bot? Like, what does it do?
Okay, so automated trading bots have been around for years. So they trade on the platform MetaTrader.
Mm-hmm.
Technical term is expert advisor. It's an algorithm, basically. We call it a box. It's just so much. If you say expert advisor, someone thinks someone's going to sit down and actually tell them what to do. But it is just a set of code in, trades on an algorithm, and just consistency. So it's as simple as signing up to a broker,
Mm-hmm.
depositing funds,
Mm-hmm.
purchasing the bot from us. We set it up, and then it just ticks away.
And who sets the algorithm? Who sets the trade thresholds or limits?
So
or
within the coding, already preset. So it's literally plug and play.
certain markets, certain
Yeah.
pairs?
You can set it to trade on certain markets, but the algorithm will always be the same. So obviously, it will react on other markets better than.
And what if someone says, "Well, I don't agree with your algorithm. I'll do it my way."
That's fine.
They can do that?
Yeah, they can do it there. Yeah, but you can't change some of it. We have newer bots that you can mess around with.
Okay.
Interchangeable settings, but our most popular one is plug and play.
Yeah,
Nothing to
okay.
change but risk settings up and down.
Yeah. Okay. And that means how much people are willing to
Yeah, exactly.
risk before a stop loss comes
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
or
exactly.
take profits come in and stuff.
Yeah. So
And so okay, so let's then get into a little bit of technical here. So what's a stop loss?
okay, so let's say you put a trade on. How can I explain it in a simple term? So you put a trade on for the euro to the dollar to go up, okay, but you only want to risk £10.
Yep.
If you set a stop loss, if it goes against you, you'll only lose £10
The
basically.
maximum you'll ever lose.
Yeah. So that it's there to protect your equity. Simple.
And then take profits, the opposite.
Opposite way, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make £10 when it hits £10.
And that just means that it allows people to get in and out of trades without having to watch the market 24/7
exactly,
because these and we can do that in crypto. You know,
Yeah.
talk about crypto because that's my thing. But, you know, you can do the same in crypto as well. You can set market orders to buy and sell and stuff. But
and it's quite popular on crypto now. I noticed on a lot of the things you've got these copy algorithms and stuff like that. It's a lot more popular.
Yeah.
And I think this was the biggest draw for me against Fox. This automated system was it is like it seems too good to be true, but like consistently 5 years later, you sat still doing it, and like it's working.
So let's talk about that then, because I think it's quite possibly, I think anyway, the biggest space of people selling a dream that in a lot of cases doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right. And also, I think it seems totally unregulated from one sense, because, you know, you see these people online, and I won't name them, but like, you know, if you search automated FX trading influencer or something like that, you'll find these sorts of people, right?
Yeah.
But they just seem to be saying whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want. And you know, some of these people that are posting, you know, images or whatever of and I know you do, but like, they're not even legit images.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even real accounts.
Yeah.
You know, fake demo accounts, whatever it may be.
Photoshop's a great thing.
Is there no regulation on that? Is there no... can people not stop you?
Yeah, there is. UK is really hot on it. FCA. If it gets...
But a lot of these people are in the UK.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people... Like I say, we won't name names, but you see a lot of people start this up where they're trying to get people into the FX space in what we'll class as like influencers, million followers on TikTok, Instagram, but all of a sudden one day they'll just stop posting, and there's a reason why, because the FCA's caught up with them and said you're influencing people to make financial decisions here, and you're not regulated to do that. So it does get caught up eventually, especially if you're of that influencing stage. The guys we probably talk about are probably like midway there sort of thing. But you notice a lot of them move abroad. Regulations are less.
Yeah, I know a few of them that are here.
Yeah, but
I don't know them, but I know that they are here.
But brokers are technically regulated. So the brokers are fully regulated, but it's the people pushing people into the brokers that aren't regulated.
But some of these brokers are part of the problem.
Yeah, because they're offering... So a lot of these influencers, what they're trying to do is introduce people to the broker to get affiliate fees. Yeah. Simple as that.
Which is a sign-up fee.
Yeah, of course.
So you say to me, join this broker, Joe, and you'll get 500 quid for saying that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they just want to churn as many people, and that's why they go to the influencers to do it, because they just want to push people into the broker. And I met with a broker recently, our broker that we use out here, and he was just saying the demands from people now that want to introduce are huge. They want wages, they want office space, they want marketing budgets, and on top of these fees, it's becoming the norm now to ask for more and more.
And do they pay introducer fees?
Yeah.
And so you get an introducer fee?
So we don't get an introducer fee. Sorry, ours is slightly different. So from the start, we saw this product as a long-term thing.
Yeah.
And we do get a commission. Can't sit here and say we won't.
Yeah.
So our commission is slightly different. So we get a commission as long as the person we introduce keeps opening and closing trades, e.g. the bot keeps opening and closing trades. So as long as somebody keeps using that product, we keep making commissions.
Do they have to be a profitable trade?
Doesn't have to be a profitable trade, no. But obviously, in theory, if it turned non-profitable, they would stop using it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how we get it. It's a lot less than what these other guys get, but long term, it's nice.
And that means you win, not just when people win, because obviously they could have loss-making trades. But you are incentivized to ensure that they carry on.
I don't want.
You want people to be successful, because the more successful, the more they trade, and then the more you 100%. You win. Whereas a lot of these people that are in this space are saying, sign up, get 500, move on to the next one. Sign up, move on to the next
follow
one.
A couple of signals, and that's what they do. So a signal is somebody tells you to place the trade on the market, and that's their way of helping you make money.
Yeah.
But whether that trade wins or loses, they're not bothered. They've got their fee, and they're happy. Whereas we want that long-term commission as well,
and relationship as well.
Yeah, 100%. And for us as well, like, we use the product. Like, that is our main source of income here.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, right? Is you use it.
Yeah.
Your partner uses it.
Yeah.
Your mum uses it.
Yeah.
It's
not this thing that's like, I just want to push this onto people because it doesn't work and I just want to make a quick buck. It's like all of our clients, so we're about 300 clients now, all referrals. No one client has found us on the internet or found us on Instagram, messaged and signed up. It's literally all word of mouth referrals. So I think that speaks volumes for the business, like, totally.
100%.
And it was the same with Fox in the UK. It was a lot of our business was word of mouth, and like being the face of a business. I know we went to that seminar and with Daniel.
Oh, Daniel Priestley.
And it was very much about being the face of the business and the trust and stuff like that. And that's something we've really pushed, and it's worked so well. It has worked so well.
Does it do crypto?
We used to have a bot that traded crypto, Bitcoin. But unfortunately, through brokers like the FX brokers and the MetaTrader platform, the leverage got reduced so much.
Okay.
So we actually did a live video trading Bitcoin on YouTube. I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
It was an hour. We did it one night. I don't know. It made like 20 quid, something like that.
Okay.
But it worked. Like, we trusted the product to do it a live stream.
Yeah.
But brokers changed regulations, leverage reduced. It wasn't as free to trade on the markets, basically.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not something you offer at the moment.
No. It's just the leverage.
Yeah.
The bot needs like room to breathe with leverage, and it.
So, and I don't want to get too technical, but obviously when we talk about technical pieces, what I want to make sure is that people know what we're talking about. So when we're talking about leverage.
Yeah. So leverage is how much you can basically use of your own funds to place a trade. So if you've got a large account, you only want to risk a small amount, that's fine. You could keep your leverage really low. But if you wanted to push a £10,000 pot to the limit, you just up your leverage to the max. And you basically
what max are you talking about?
You could lose 10 grand, basically. But you're using the full amount of equity that you've got to trade with.
As opposed to saying, I only want to risk 1,000 of the 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore, you'd pull that leverage down.
It's almost like another version of a stop loss. Yeah. But it's just limiting your equity down.
Yeah. But obviously, the less you put in, the less you make. But...
And that's what I'm saying. So like with our crypto bot that we had, it needed that extra leverage. If you got a 10 grand pot, it needed to use, say, 5 grand to effectively trade.
Right.
But brokers were then only allowing £1,000 of it.
Right.
So we just didn't. Yeah, it did at the start, and then unfortunately it came to an end.
I think it's a bit, not a bit too volatile. That's probably unfair, but like it is so volatile. Like the currency markets are so, like they're a trusted market. People know them. That a 1% movement in the currency market is quite big. A 1% movement in Bitcoin probably happens every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So there is a very big difference in that. So, like, client trust is essential for this space, right? It's without trust, you have no customers. In a space that is lacking in the nicest possible way in trust, how do you build trust?
So, I think what we just took, being the face, like putting yourself out there, your professional network as well.
But everyone puts them. I just want to challenge that.
Okay.
Some of these influencers out there,
100%,
they're putting themselves out. They're putting their face to this.
Yeah, I think. See, I put my professional profile out there. Let's say that. So LinkedIn, quite upfront. It's got all my work history. It's my platform for business. So whether it's this business or another business, it's my platform for business, and I would probably say that these other guys probably aren't in that space.
Yeah.
So the trust is a huge thing. And I think it's really helped with us because of the word of mouth, like referral from friends of friends and stuff like that. It builds that trust a lot quicker. And I know what you say, put yourself out there, and these guys are doing that. I think we just do it slightly different. We're very transparent. So we've got an open.
So what does that mean? Like, you say you're very. I know what transparent means, but like, how are you transparent?
Okay, so how are we actually saying this is how it works?
I've got an account with you. How do I know?
Okay, so we use a third party auditor to come in. They analyze an account. Okay, so you'll give them the account details. They'll go through it and they'll basically say, right, this account from day one in January, it made 3%, whatever it did. It will show you every single trade it ever placed, which you really won't want to go through. But in short term, you get a nice chart and it says, right, 2022, here's your chart going up. Same for 2023. So we share those with people. There's not many of these other guys that would say, it's called My FX Book. There's not many of them that would say, here's my FX book.
Do you have to pay for that? Or is that
no, it's free. Okay. It's totally free. My FX Book is... so
they could... My point there is they could use it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not like you've got to pay to do it. No, not at all. A lot of the regulated guys use it. Like it's a way to show verified results. So, but you won't, I dare say 99% of these, they won't use it. But we're so transparent. We will share this link and people will, of course, we get questioned all the time, whether it's like legit, whether it'll carry on, how much I'll make a month. Obviously, it's down to market movements and stuff like that. Yeah. But what we do say is like, go back to 2020 on this verified link and check. You can see literally every single trade it's placed, the deposit amount, the profit, whether it's a safe trading strategy and stuff like that.
And what's it verifying? Like, whose account? What is it? Your account? Is it?
So we've got about 20 accounts linked. So 20 standard accounts run at different risks and stuff.
Whose money is in it?
Clients.
Okay.
Yeah. So like,
it's anonymous in the sense of you don't know the client, as in the if I looked at it, I wouldn't know the clients who was doing
you would just be able to see that it was AFXBot, how much has been deposited, and how much profit it made. Obviously, you'd be able to see all the statistics, but personal details you wouldn't be able to see. Yeah. So it's anonymous like that. But a lot of people do it because they want to see. So clients will start using the product and they'll say straight away, "Could you set this up for me so I can see what I'm going to make over the year?" Easier to work it out rather than do it on an Excel spreadsheet and stuff. So it's such a good platform to show that transparency of, here you go. Like it's not just one link, like here's one account. It's like, here's 20 accounts, go and have a look. Client accounts, my accounts and stuff like that. So, and then around that, we have a Discord community. So again, like we try and be as transparent as we can. These other people will say, you've got the one-way Telegram groups. They're giving out a signal. No one can say anything back, whether it works or not. We've got this Discord community where people can chat freely. They can say how well they've done. If you're not doing well, people could jump in there and say, we're not doing well. Exactly. Yeah. Like and actually we had a sign up 2 weeks ago. And I didn't know, but he'd been in the Discord channel for about 2 years.
Right, just kind
and he'd always had the odd comment. In Discord, people don't put their name, so sometimes you don't know who it is. And he'd said for ages, he always had the odd comment, like, is everyone still doing all right? And I actually thought he was a client doing it, and actually joined to see how it was going. And then literally 2 years later, he signed up. Yeah. And he's literally said, like, in 2 weeks, he's made X amount. I wish I'd done it sooner. Like, it's literally it. But that's sometimes how long it can take to build confidence. But again, that transparency of allowing somebody that's not a client to come in and check that Discord for 2 years.
Is it open, the Discord?
Yeah, it's open Discord. Yeah, so it's open invite only. If someone asks us, we'd invite them.
Yeah, but it's not like you don't
have to buy a product.
I say this is a lot of crypto projects. Their Discord's only open if you're part of the community, and by being part of the community, you got to buy the token. So by that point, you're already invested financially. To be able to do that, but yours is open. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, if someone was interested in the product and they're a little bit hesitant, we would say, look, don't rush into anything. Here's a Discord link. Watch it for a little bit. We also have an account running. It's a demo account that started with £10,000. Anyone can log into it from their phone to see it.
Okay.
So again, total transparency that you can see how that account's doing, how much profits it's making and stuff. So again, we try and be different in the space. without being too big and still keeping it on that personal level.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get to a stage where I'm not going to say a big company, but you've got people working for you, and I don't want it to become a sales force type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I am quite happy with how it's running. The referral side is amazing, because you do build this great community. And not only that, it becomes like a little network. You know, there's an accountant in there, or there's this in there, and there's that in there, and people talk, and it's great. It works really well.
Yeah, people work together sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know you said to me that, like, your barber signed up, and like, you know, it's you have these conversations, and you bring in these different people from different walks of life that are doing all these different things. So it is like, that's the rewarding part, right? The rewarding part is, and I think that's the other, you know, I don't know your personal financial situation, obviously, but you've sold a business, so I would assume that, you know, the be all and end all isn't signups, you know. For a lot of these people, be all and end all is signups. If they don't get signups, they don't pay their wages.
Exactly.
They don't get to drive these nice cars, you know, whatever it may be. Whereas for you, it's about, you know, it's actually about building a solid community and doing something to help others and seeing people win with you rather than.
And I think that's maybe a little bit of my nature. I do enjoy seeing other people do well. It's against the UK mentality, but I just love to see other people do well, and hear their stories. Like, hearing how someone set up this business or done this and done that. I'm nosy. I'm genuinely interested.
It's funny because I say that I'm nosy about business, like, and that's partly why I do quite like sometimes doing the podcast, because I get to get an inside track into how people are operating and what they're doing, and it is like, I've got friends that are successful. Or friends of friends that are successful, and I'm sat there, I wish I could just sit there one day and just grill them. And not because I am nosy, but not because I'm nosy in a jealous, or nosy in a I want to know everything type of way, gossip type of way. I'm nosy because I'm super interested in how they do.
I want to know how they got there.
Like, I love hearing the story. Yeah, exactly, the story, but also I guess for you there'll be some rewarding stories as well, right? Where people are maybe in a normal job, 9 to 5, not earning a great deal of money, put a little bit in with you, and then start to get some financial freedom.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think this was a big thing for me, because it was going from a full-on business with Fox that was 100-hour weeks, just consuming my time, to this automated strategy that kind of ran itself, and then AFX kind of built. But it's hearing it is good, and I don't like to push the success stories of how much people make, because then you kind of become that guy on Instagram that's pushing this kind of unrealistic, you can make £10,000 a day. But just the little bits, like, who doesn't want to wake up to make a tenner? Like, it's that simple thing, and like enjoying that. And we try and something, as much as we want people to invest and carry on investing long term, we also say, like, enjoy it. Like, you know, if you're going to make 3-5% a month, at least take 50 quid out and go and spend it. You know, go and enjoy it. Enjoy that. Like, it's not going to affect your long-term goals. But yeah, it's great. And like, it's so corny sat here, but like, it's genuinely changing people's lives. Obviously, it comes down to how much you want to put in as to whether it's going to have a big enough effect, but on your life. But yeah, some of the guys have obviously built the trust and deposited a lot. They're earning triple what their day job is, and they're just ticking away. And if they do that for a few years, it's great.
Yeah, it is. It's rewarding, like you say. It's really nice to see and see people not turn their lives around. That's probably unfair, but do you know what I mean? Give them opportunities they may not have had. Yeah,
of course.
You know, in the day job, and I think one of the key things is, like, you know, if you want to trade crypto, for example, if you want to trade FX yourself, you've got to really, like, you've got to know the whole market. You've got to be in it 24/7. Whereas with this, you don't. Like, you keep an active, like, a few times I've looked at your phone, mainly because I'm jealous, because I want one of those folding phones. But and like, you've got the markets there on your screen and stuff, because although you don't have to act 24/7, you do want to see what's going on. You want to have it. So I think there's also that point around, and I think the same with crypto. Like, there's that financial educational piece as well, that people start to then go, oh, you know, I want to follow the euro dollar market, and then it moves, and then they go, I wonder why it moved. I'm interested as to why it moved, and then they look into why it moved, and they go, that's really interesting that affected that. Or, you know, so I think there's that, like, it educates you as well, helps you
feel like you're part of it. You feel like you're learning along the way. And that was a big thing that we wanted to do as well, is try and educate these people that just wanted this passive income. It was like, we could also educate you into this market, and everyone wants to learn.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to put the effort in. And so within what we do, we have a guy from Cyprus, a fully qualified financial guy that gives us educational content in the Discord as well. So we're trying to add as much as we can to this community to help people along the way, rather than it just be, here's a profit shot. It's like, right, what can we bring here? Like, I can share my journey with people. This guy can give us educational content, and it's just trying to build it and get that safe, trusted network, basically.
Yeah, agreed. Do you do signals?
So, not really. If we do, it would be like 5 a month. That's
Okay.
it, max. So
what would make you, if it's not the regular thing, what would make you do it?
what would make me do it?
Yeah.
So a lot of people that get into this, the passive side and what we do, they also see the other side of the signals, and they want to push on doing it themselves. And I can seriously relate to this, because when you've been using the bot for like 5 years and it's been fine and it just ticks away nicely and you make money, eventually, it sounds bad, it doesn't become that rewarding.
Yeah, you want to take a bit of a risk.
It's like, okay, this is making me money, it's making my living, but I'm not doing anything, and like that dopamine goes again. Like it sort of, it dies off. As much as it's great, don't get me wrong, it becomes a little.
If you're
bit
that way
mundane.
inclined, you want something more.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like that's set now, that's doing that. Like now, what else can I branch off into the same industry and do? And that's when we got into the educational side, to kind of push that across to clients. But the signals, we would. There's 3 of us really that are good traders. The fully qualified guy, another chap, and myself. And if there was a signal that we all thought was strong enough, we'd put it out. So what happened back in the day was, these guys that were introduced into brokers, if they had a big enough pull, the broker would actually ask them to place a trade, because the broker needed the volume going through. So they would speak to the main guy at this sort of affiliate guy, and say, you need to get a trade on. We need to see some volume going through the market. If they've got 10,000 people following, that's some volume all of a sudden going through.
So they don't care what the trade is.
No. And I spoke to one of the previous guys that worked at this company, and he said quite a few times it was, you need to place a trade now, whether it's going to win or lose, just get it on, get it going. So there's a lot of demands from brokers as well. Once you promise, the thing is, they're giving out a lot, so you've got to sort of return that, and that's why they're not bothered if it goes right or wrong.
Yeah, they're not giving 500 quid a sign up for nothing. They're giving it to get volume. If they don't get volume, they want to know why. They want to get it somehow.
Let's push it as quick as we can. So with what we do as well, is when we give the signal out, we'll provide some educational piece as to why have we done that.
Do your own research, but
this is what we've done. Whereas these other guys, it's like, buy your USD, and it's like, and I was that person 9 years ago that was in one of these groups, like, okay, I'll buy, but like I never, and I always thought, why? Like I always sat there thinking, why am I doing it? But because they're one-way groups, 9 times out of 10, you never know. So it was kind of, I wanted to provide that. I wanted people to understand why we're placing that trade. The fundamentals are right. The analysis is right. If it goes wrong, it's just one of them things, but we're protected with a stop loss and stuff like that. So it's educating that and making it go in our favor. That's all trading is. Like the market moves up and down.
Yeah.
But you're just putting the odds in our favor. It's like betting. You know, more odds in your favor, the easier it is. So that's So we try and educate as well whilst doing it. And that's rewarding. Like, I enjoy that. That's like the new side of creating this educational platform where people can learn on their own. And someone messages saying, I'll place a trade on my own, I made a bit of money, and it doesn't have to be a lot.
Like kind of proud.
Pound. It doesn't matter. Like it's still people learning. And I enjoy that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So in terms of like, you know, somebody's coming to this market, they see what's going on. Even if they don't go to AFX, what should they be looking out for? What are the big red flags that they should be looking out for that if it sounds, not even if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, because some of what you guys do sounds too good to be true in some instances. Like what's the red flags they need to be looking out for? How do they know whether someone's legit or not?
Okay, so brokers are a massive thing. Like at the end of the day, you're putting your money into a broker. They're going to hold your money. They're going to trade on the markets for you. They've got to have good liquidity. It's research your broker. Like there's a lot of brokers out there that will fake profit shots and fake this and fake that for these influencers to push people. So do your research on the broker. Don't get me wrong, every broker's got a bad review. Like everyone's got a bad review somewhere, but the good's got to outweigh the bad. And that was a big thing for me, like being AFX, but then introducing people to brokers. It's got to be. So we use 3 IC Markets, Equity that are out here, and Squared Financial. I really like Equity and Squared Financial. I've met. You can go to Equity office, sit down, have a coffee, talk to them. Same with Squared Financial. They came out here. They're Cyprus based, but they came out a couple of weeks ago. We went to Top Golf. They are doing what I'm trying to do to my clients. They are building that trust with me, of course. So, but it goes a long way. Like IC Markets are huge. You'd never speak to the same person there like twice, sort of thing. But these other guys, it's got to have that trust. And so yeah, biggest red flag is what broker is it? And you'll see it now. It's becoming so common. I'd say when I moved here, I noticed it was pushed a lot more. Like obviously, Equity sponsors the metro station. Somebody else sponsors another section. You would never see it in the UK, but it's becoming a lot more mainstream. So I think somebody sponsors West Ham. Trade Nation sponsors West Ham. Somebody sponsors Man United. So they are pushing in the UK massively for people to jump on board and start trading FX. Just because they're sponsoring somebody doesn't mean they're good. But they've got the buying power to do it.
I sometimes think you like to think that these big clubs or whatever would do their research. Half the time they don't.
Probably not. No, they just see the paycheck and it's like, yeah, I'll do that. But this is it. So we were approached by I think it was the West Ham sponsor, and they asked us if we wanted to come on board with them, introduce people. At the end of the day, a lot of these brokers offer the same sort of things in the market. Nothing really changes. But one thing they offered was West Ham season ticket. I think it was two games a year in the box sort of thing with like VIP experience. So they're using that to pull people in. Yeah, of course. So, but again, we didn't go with them because they didn't. Other brokers just for us, we just had that personal touch. It was 100%. So brokers is a big thing. Who's introducing you? Like what backing have they got? Like, you know, AFX is limited company in the UK, free zone company out here. It's a business. Whereas a lot of these people that are introducing it's personal. There's nothing but their name. So who's introducing you? Do your research. I mean, you know, if you search for some of these guys on TikTok, loads of stuff comes up. So yeah, they're the 2 main red flags I would say. As far as after the brokers, the algorithms and the bots themselves are widely available. Like you could download thousands of them now. Whether they're like going to work or not is another thing. But I would always ask, and we get approached quite often. So people will contact us. I've got a bot. Do you want to buy it? You know, buy the code in, brand it as your own sort of thing. And yeah, of course, we're interested. We're always interested in diversity into different strategies. But as soon as you say, send me the my AFXBot link, they don't want to. They don't want to. They haven't got that track record. And you can back test these products. So you can run this product and see what it would do. It's not always as accurate as a live market, but if someone can't give you that link, it's pointless.
Yeah, it's a red flag immediately.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like you want to know what that bot's done.
So would you, if sorry to jump in, but if someone was like talking to a provider like you that isn't you, for example, but would you say to that person, ask them for this?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What's it called? My
FX book.
Okay, we'll link it in the
my FX book. It's just an FX website.
And if they won't show that, that's a red flag.
Yeah, like any time that is a red flag. And we, like I say, probably once a month we get contacted about buying a bot or getting involved with a strategy and stuff like that. And it's just, unless they can share that, I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
So they're really the only way you're going to know whether it's a strong strategy. But something we haven't. A lot of these brokers now have the social apps, so you could download this app now on your phone and you could copy somebody else's strategy. Right, simple as that. So it's becoming a lot more mainstream. So there's a guy like me that's running the algorithm in the background. Everyone pulls their money in, and you have, instead of like $2,000 per person, you basically trade with a big pot.
Okay.
Like a money manager. So we do a few of them, not on these mainstream platforms. We do it in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have statistics linked to them. So they're good. They are becoming a lot more popular. And when people try and introduce you to them, you can see how long that strategy's been going. And if it's been, and what you do see quite often is these strategies on these apps on week 1 made 1,000% profit. And then it just sort of plateaus across.
Yeah.
So all they're doing is they're setting up a strategy, and all they're doing is probably putting a personal trade on the guy running it that makes a serious amount of money.
Yeah.
Getting people, and people are like, oh, 1,000%
Wow.
in a day. Yeah, I want to get, and they put their money in, and then it's just sort of like plateauing up and down. But the guy's making money because he's getting the commission from it. So, you know, if someone's pushing out a percentage like that,
yeah, then it's
unrealistic. Like, I think that's a big thing as well when you say, like, what's the red flag? Like, what percentage is somebody?
Yeah, what do you think is a percentage that, like, what are you guys average?
So we had a guy the other day, actually. He's been doing it for 2 years. Year 1 he did 77%, and year 2 he did 71%.
Right.
So that's, I mean, it's a good return. But it's also, to a lot of people, very unrealistic.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Yeah,
Like, this guy is legit. It's happening. It's on my FX book. Like, you could log in and see that return is genuine. But when people are promising 5-10% a day, like, it's just not. No, it's just not. There's no point. And I say this to, you could push our bot to its absolute limit and do 5% in a day. But there's no point making 5% for 10 days and blowing 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
On day 10 or whatever. So it's what we try and promote massively is that risk management. Like, slow it down. Like, you want to be here in 10 years still making that money.
Yeah.
You don't want to make 10 grand year 1 and lose 20 in year 2. Like, what's the point?
It's pointless.
But it's that emotional attachment. Like, it's the emotion gets hold of you when you know you can make that money. And I think sometimes seeing other people make more, it's difficult. You want to be in that stage.
That FOMO thing. And
yeah, of course, yeah. And it's just that patience. Like, everyone starts low and builds up. But it's that patience of sort of getting there. But yeah, that's...
Yeah. No, it makes sense. And it's trying to manage the negatives in the industry as well, and showing people that it isn't all about this. And, you know, it can be you know, a safe space and things.
I think that's it. And, you know, everybody, especially, I dare say, the younger generation are very influenced by 10% a day.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Maybe as you get older and you understand what returns you should be making, you know, like everyone talks about the S&P 500, it's like 8 to 10% a year.
Yeah.
So everyone sort of bases a return on that. So as soon as somebody's saying 10% a day, to me and you, it's like, I'm not sure, like, that's fully legit.
But it's the same, you know, in crypto. You know,
yeah, of course,
there was the Terra Luna crash, and they were offering 20% yield on a stablecoin.
Yeah.
And I've got a message that I sent to a mate of mine where I said, make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah.
Like, this won't last.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I'm not an expert as such, right? I'm not a financial markets expert or anything like that, but it's very clear that if something's paying 20% on a stable coin, so a stable coin being a fiat pegged, so you know, dollar pegged, you know, stable coin,
like USDT.
Yeah. Like, there's something wrong because they're not earning that. They're not, like, that's not possible to bring that to market. So, you know, if you see that, clear. So it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it if you've got an element of, like, when I did it, I had a little bit in it for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Where I was like, let's just, you know, bring some in but I know that at any point, but I also knew that at any point that could go wrong. So I was like, what was in there was, obviously I didn't want to lose it, but I also knew that I wasn't going to go bust if I did.
Yeah.
So it was enough to get a little bit. But, you know, you see these big numbers and people put their life savings in it and then wonder why it all goes horribly wrong. And it's...
Yeah, I think it's the same in FX as it probably is in crypto. I mean, we're probably in some similar Telegram chats for the crypto space, and these crypto pumps that you hear about, and, you know, at X o'clock, you've got to buy this coin. It goes up 1,000%, but then it drops straight away.
Guess what? You're never the one that gets 1,000%.
No, of course you're not. You're just helping, like, fund that push and that like, pullback. So it's appealing. And don't get me wrong, some of the people doing it, if there's 10,000 following, some of them will make decent money, but a lot of them will lose.
And some people, like, people have to make money, otherwise these things don't work. So they have to allow some people to make money, otherwise it won't work.
Yeah. People want to follow. People want that thrill. But when you see these things at 5-10% a day, it's just unrealistic.
Red flag.
100%. 100%.
Well, look, again, I say this all the time, but generally, the reason I have guests on is because I love talking about the subject that they're talking about, right? So, you know, we talk about this a lot outside of this, but yeah, we're on the mark where we need to wind it
Yeah,
down. So
fine, yeah.
yeah, first of all, thanks for coming. But how can people find you if they want to learn about you? Can we post a link to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
site?
So yeah, we've got a website.
Yeah.
www.afxbot.co.uk.
Yeah.
Instagram, usual sort of things, Linktree. So the website leads to everything basically. So yeah, all our information's on there. A WhatsApp button, and simple as that.
And chat.
Yeah, Discord community, everything, access.
Well, thanks for coming on, John.
No problem. Thank you
Good
for
to
having
chat.
me.
And yeah, speak soon.
Yeah, no worries.
Cheers.